Welcome to Lucky Lotus. My name's Brijesh.
I'm Jimmy. We're joined by a special guest this week, Mya Mack.
Hello, everyone.
Mya, just to start off, where can everyone find you on social media?
On Instagram, my name is the Mya Mack. On Twitter, it's Mya Mack.
You got this.
I think
You got
that's it.
this.
I think that's it. I mean, anywhere else, I'm pretty sure the handle is the Mya Mack.
You know what we'll do? We'll put in post. If you remember anything, just let me know, and I'll put it in post.
Okay,
So,
perfect.
Sweet.
We'll put it at the bottom. So thanks for tuning in with us. Thanks for joining us. Second guest on the podcast, everybody.
Woo! I should have been the first, but it's fine.
Well,
Hey, you should have
we
been the
had
first. You
to,
should have been the first.
we had to get all the kinks out of the way in the first one. So you may notice that we've positioned the person to the right so we can both look at them at the same time versus them flipping their head back and forth.
That's why you're not the first.
Okay, you're right.
You
You're
deserve
right.
better. You deserve better.
You know what? You're
Here,
right.
you want to put this on?
Yeah.
Just because there's every time he says any word with P,
Mm-hmm.
it pops.
It really
Yeah.
pops, or I say it like, and then you hear,
Like,
then you
it's
hear
not-
the.
It's not going to
In the
sound good.
thing.
And now I'm concerned that this is going to pop.
Well, you asked me to order it, so now it's up. He asked me to order mic covers, and they're at my desk, like on my house, and I
So-
was just like,
This is for the audience, actually.
well,
we're trying. We are trying.
We're keeping this in, no
okay.
matter how it sounds
Wait,
now.
give me just 1 second.
Who's calling you?
Who's calling me? YouTube, guys, stop calling me. We're in an interview right now with Mya Mack.
Yeah.
Okay, give me just a second. Maya, is it okay if I take this call?
Go ahead.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, we want more subscribers. What can we do about it? You want me to call me? I don't know. I don't feel comfortable calling my subscribers that. What do you want me to call them? And it works. Mr. Beast said this. Okay, gotcha. Okay, well I'll try this. Okay, here we go again.
What was it, Brijesh?
What
I'll
did-
take the bait.
I'm trying to skip, dude.
Look, what was it? Everyone wants to know.
Subscribers or Muppets, follow right now. Thank you.
All right, let's get into it. So
Muppets is crazy.
you guys, I don't know you. Brijesh knows you. How do you guys know each other?
Go ahead.
We went to middle school together. We went to Mount Pisgah. So, yeah, me and Brijesh go way back.
Could you ever imagine? I remember when we were in middle school together. This is not what I thought that we were going to be doing in the future.
Me
I never thought that you're going to be in my house.
This is actually crazy. I've
Yeah.
never been to Brejesh's house, you guys.
Yeah, so this is the first time, and I really appreciate it because she has a very busy schedule, and she made time for us to actually come and do an interview with us.
Is it that busy? I don't know.
Well, geographically,
Indianapolis.
it's busy, right? You only get so many chances that you're in Memphis, and this is one of the
This
chances.
is true. This is
Yeah.
true. This is true.
You're so humble. Not gonna-
So you guys went to middle school
There we go.
together. I'm just going to ask, any funny memories about Brijesh? Perhaps something he said, something he did.
There's so many.
Perhaps he peed his pants in 4th grade.
Oh my gosh. I don't remember anything, Brijesh. Do
So
you?
she's not going to tell you this, but I had a very thick Indian accent. Very
Is
thick
that-
Indian
is that
accent.
true?
Yeah, I took ESL for 3 years. I sounded like this.
did- Now, I do remember
I
that.
did not talk like this. I also talk like this.
As like a little kid.
As a little kid. Because here's the thing. I talked, when I was at the house, I could only speak Punjabi. And that's a P word, so I hope it doesn't pop. But it was at the house I speak Punjabi, and at school I speak English. And as a kid, you can't do that. You got to pick one language and be consistent with it.
The only reason I say that is usually there's one memory from every middle school or grade school or like high school where someone knows is the incident. So I wasn't
Yeah.
sure if Brijesh. So what was the incident at y'all's middle
Don't
school?
tell him.
I don't-
Don't
I
tell
was
him.
like, I
Don't
don't
tell
think-
him.
There was no drama.
I don't remember. Not with Brijesh, no.
Yeah.
Well, not with him, but I'm saying you guys have to have a common memory because you went to the same school.
Well,
I
yeah.
almost fought somebody who was 6'4".
That's
Who?
okay.
In my opinion.
Who?
In my
Who?
opinion.
We
At
need
Mount
to
Pisgah?
We'll,
Yeah, at
we'll
Mount
bleep
Pisgah.
the
Who
name
was
out.
it?
It was Abdullah. Do you remember Abdullah?
Abdullah, yes. I remember Abdullah.
I want him on the podcast too because it was like afterwards we became best friends.
Who
And
won
he-
the fight?
No, he did.
Okay, well, we
of
just gotta
course,
know.
He was 260 and I was only 40 pounds.
No, Abdullah was big.
Yeah, he was a big
For a
dude.
middle schooler, it's crazy.
Big dude.
Big dude. His dad was on American Chopper and everything. So.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. But I said no, your dad wasn't. And he was like, don't put that spit on me.
Are you guys competing right now for the most famous person that went to y'all's middle school?
She's the most famous person.
Am I? I don't.
There we go again. Knock
You gotta say.
Am I? Maybe. Yeah, we'll say that.
Okay. So Maya, tell us about you. So I only know about you in middle school. Then afterwards, you went to what high school did you go to?
Arlington.
Yeah, everybody went to Arlington.
Well, I was just having this conversation. It's like she went to the high school right after they built a new high school that's like state of the art now. So it's like you had to pave the way for these kids.
Yeah.
Good on you.
So
Good on
yeah,
you.
I went to Arlington after that, and then I went to University of Memphis.
Yeah.
So I've been in Memphis pretty much my whole life, and then I moved to Atlanta in 2021.
Okay.
What did you graduate from the University of Memphis with?
So I have my bachelor's in human resources management.
Okay.
So yeah, after middle school, so like, it's crazy that I work in sports and entertainment now, because when I thought about it, I was like, I've been kind of in sports and entertainment pretty much like throughout my life. So grade school, high school, college, I was dancing, playing sports. I played basketball when I was younger, really didn't count. I played golf for 3 years, which a lot of people don't know. I played golf.
Yeah.
I danced, I cheered, and then in like high school, like end of high school, me and one of my good friends, Kelsey, we started a girl group, and
What's a girl? What? Explain to the audience what a girl group is.
I don't know what a girl
okay, you
group
guys.
is.
We dark secrets.
We just call them
so
the
if you
boys.
didn't know me back then, you don't know about this. But the group was called Sanity. It was just me and Kelsey. And yeah, we have songs on YouTube. We have videos on YouTube. It was a good time. It was a good time.
You were destined. You were destined for this.
You know, so I've been around it. And then after that, I went to college. And I started my own cosmetic line, which really wasn't my idea. It was my mom's idea. Obviously, I don't do that anymore, so that stopped. But when I got to college, that's when I kind of found my love for sports. And so one of my good friends, Raylan, she was like, I work for the football team. We have this student support staff, whatever. She's like, you should come and try it. I'm like, okay, like I watch football at home, so I guess whatever. So I get there and I realize I really love being in this environment. I really love doing what we do. And so that's kind of how I found my passion for football.
Yeah.
And so go ahead.
This is a great segue. So what do you do?
So currently I am unemployed. They fired my ass. I was at QC. They fired my ass, y'all. But
She's a free agent. She's a free agent.
I am a sports and entertainment business manager. I just launched my own business back in March, so pretty new.
Well, first of all, let me just say, being that young and already like gravitating towards YouTube, you like somehow like subconsciously at least understood that like YouTube is the future.
Yes.
And that I mean back then you probably didn't know like, oh, YouTube's gonna be this big or that. No. But still, you put yourself out there. You didn't ask for permission. You didn't ask for anybody to like, hey, should I do this? Should I not? You went out and did it. So.
And I think it was just better that way. It was more organic because there wasn't like influencers. Even though we gained a big following and we used to stream, it was called Ustream, I think. We used to do streams and we used to have a lot of people watching us, but it was just cool. Like it wasn't how it is now. Yeah. You know? I feel like you have to put so much effort into it now versus back then it was like very organic. We just hop on screen and do whatever, say whatever.
Who was the coach at the time when you were at the U of M for the football?
I think Fuente had just left. It was Norvell.
Gotcha. So when Norvell came in, I had a bunch of friends that were on the football team. I heard that he tried to clean up the locker room and a lot of that stuff. Is that true?
That is absolutely true.
I heard. Now I'm just going to keep saying stuff I heard until you tell me it's not true.
And let me say, I have no understanding of sports, so
yeah, he has no reference. He's like Sporty McSports had a good sporting team. That's what it is.
Oh, Miami sports, awesome.
Okay, yeah.
Told him someone had 10 interceptions. He said, "What a good day."
I know that's
no,
not
he
good.
did say that.
I'm like, nah, Brijesh.
Is it also true that when Mike Norvell took over the Memphis football team, if anyone tested positive for anything they shouldn't have tested for, that he allegedly made them call their parents?
Now that I do not know.
Okay.
I can neither confirm
That's
nor
allegedly.
deny.
Let's give you some more reference. He is the AOT president. By the way, that was
ATO,
Oh
which
my
would it would be the equivalent of me saying you were in the wrong sorority or like stuff like that. So I was ATO president at the time.
Well, we're both co-hosts, so he forgives me.
I forgive you a little bit.
later.
Like, that would be
bit.
like me asking you like, how was your time in AKA?
Yeah, definitely don't ask me that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a Delta.
That's what I'm saying. You don't
Yeah,
get it.
definitely.
You don't
How
get
was
it,
your time in
Brijesh.
Delta?
It's been great so far. It's been great.
There we go.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite memory working with the Memphis Tigers football program?
Oh my gosh, I have so many. I met so many great people working there. I think my best memories were really just like game days. Being able to bring like all of the prospective athletes, their families, being able to kind of showcase the school a little bit, and just being, favorite memory was college game day when they came to Memphis.
Okay.
So I was literally out from like 4:00 in the morning. The game was late, so we stayed out on Beale Street. You know, we got in front of the cameras for college game day, and then we ended up having a great game. I think it was against SMU, maybe.
That's right. It was against SMU.
Great game. That was probably my best memory from University of Memphis football. But of course, I have so many.
Okay, so it was just like waking up at 4 a.m., being in part of the
Yes,
game
like I was
day.
being a part of it. Like most of the time, I was working, so I couldn't experience, fandom, So that day, I literally had no responsibility for real, and I got to just experience everything from beginning to end. I was tired, but it was worth it. It was such a great time.
There we go. 4 a.m. pre-gaming.
Oh yeah. And back in college, my go-to liquor back in college.
Ooh.
It was serious. Crown Apple was
That's when Crown
yes.
Apple
but that's
first
when I
came
kind of got a little bougie, because at first it was like Fireball, Specca, Parmesan. It was,
maybe some buzz balls.
yeah.
It's
I
the-
just tried my first Buzz Ball maybe like 2-3 years ago.
That was like
How'd it go?
was like the summer of all the like Jack Honey, Jack Fire,
Hate
all
Jack
that
Honey.
stuff.
I hate that. But no, do y'all remember Capriccios?
Yes.
No, I
That
don't.
was-
What's Capriccio?
It's like a sangria type of
So
drink.
basically, it tastes like kind of like sugar and
It's
That's dangerous,
It's
yeah.
pre-mixed.
That's
this,
so dangerous.
This was also when like limeritas and strawberries and
Yes,
mangaritas.
Club Tails, and the Four Locos. I think they had just started selling the 10% Four Locos here, so it was like, oh no,
He's got a
We
got a
just
story
we just
about
had
a
this
Four Loko.
conversation about this
about Four Locos.
Yeah, it was. You can listen to. Shout out to the last episode. You can listen to it. I told a story. I drank 2 of them, and they're basically like drinking wine.
Yeah.
And so I drank 2 of them during a parade in New Orleans, and you can listen to the last episode. But anyway, Four Locos, when they're fully potent and fully leaded, it was a real thing. It was a real problem.
Yeah, and
Because it
then
has
it's like
caffeine in it and everything.
yes, and
too, right?
carbonation. So it's like you bloated, burping, but you drunk. Like you,
There
oh,
we go.
oh, it'll
hit
tear
you.
you.
It hit you. There
It'll
we go.
tear you up.
So okay, that was your So that kind of showed you like what you wanted to do in the future, right?
Yeah,
Like,
and
not drink Four Locos all the
What?
time.
No. Stay away from the Four Locos,
Yeah.
kids. Don't do drugs because that's pretty close to it. But
Oh yeah.
after that, my plan was like, okay, I'm just gonna, since I already I'm on track to get my degree for human resources. I'll keep that just for
Yeah.
a fallback plan. But then I was like, okay, yeah, when I get out of college, I'm gonna find a college that I can continue doing recruiting in or whatever. Obviously, it didn't work out that way.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting a job right after college. I was unemployed for a while. And then, because I graduated summer 19, I did an extra year in college. And then, obviously,
Same here.
yeah.
Super seniors.
Super seniors.
At least you got out before COVID. Could you imagine that?
Literally, COVID hit the next year.
Yeah.
And so it was hard to find a job. But in the meantime, before COVID hit, I was a bartender at the FedEx Forum. And
Yeah.
so I did that. COVID hit, lost my job. And then I ended up getting a job at FedEx Supply Chain in like October of 2020.
Yeah.
And then I worked there. And probably like April, May, they were like, oh, we have a job out in Atlanta. Do you want to relocate? And I'm like, sure, why not? My uncle lives out there, so I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
cool, yeah, I can do that.
Yeah. Get out of Memphis.
No,
Immediately.
yeah, oh yeah. And at the time, it's crazy because I have a vision book.
Yeah.
And so I put QC Sports in my vision book.
Yeah.
And I showed my mom the picture. And so I don't know how I even knew about QC Sports, but I was like, okay, I'm going to do that. I'm going to get to that company.
Yeah.
Knew nobody in QC,
Yeah.
knew nothing about anything, but that was just in my vision book. And I remember maybe like May, one of my friends was like, Maya, I don't know what God is telling me, but you're gonna, he was like, it's just bigger. You're bigger than this. You're bigger than Memphis, whatever. He's gonna blow your mind. And I'm like, Okay, what does that mean?
You just got me to launch this cosmetic line.
Yeah,
and now you're telling me.
like, what is that supposed to be? But I'm like, okay, girl.
No, but it's crazy because even our last guest, Kevin, he was talking about manifestation.
Yes, I'm big on it.
It is. It's
Well, she's talking about it career-wise. Our last guest said that he manifested 2 sons. That he
that's
didn't
a career
have
too.
girls.
I'm not manifesting that. No, no time. So eggs is $15. I'm not.
I said,
manifesting
were you worried about being a girl dad? And he said, not at all, because I manifested 2 sons.
the confidence.
We are not.
No,
he
but,
was using it for.
but it's very important to actually visualize your goals.
Yes.
It's very important to visualize what you're going to do next because at the end of the day, your brain doesn't know the difference.
No, it
between
doesn't.
What reality, what fiction is. So if you keep telling yourself like, God's blessed my route. Why am I messing up? My bad.
I don't know. You got real tongue-tied.
I did. But
I thought you had a stroke there for a second.
But no, it's a very big deal to know where you're going and how you're going to get there.
Yeah,
because
and
that's
sometimes
the
you don't know how. It's
yeah,
just like,
biggest question is at least you know like the direction you're going in because you know specific questions to ask.
right.
So okay, tell us about QC.
Yeah. So, so FedEx relocated me to Atlanta. I was at FedEx for about a month, and my mom called. She's like, "Hey, so and so, they're looking for an assistant at QC," and I'm like, "QC, like quality control?" She was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Are you serious?" She was like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Okay," but it was in music.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Okay, yeah, cool." And I tried to do FedEx and QC at the same time. Quickly, I knew I couldn't do it. So I took a pay cut at first going to QC, but I was like, you know what, this is a stepping stone for me to get to QC Sports, so I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And I went into QC. My experience was my experience. I met a lot of good people. I got a lot of good experiences.
You got to tell us.
Yeah.
What do you mean my experience? What's my experience?
I'm going to preface this and say,
okay,
this is my experience.
Yeah.
And I'm grown. I can say what the hell I want to.
There we go.
But
you pay taxes.
I pay taxes. I pay bills. So I will say I met a lot of great people working at QC.
Yeah.
Some friends that I will have for a lifetime. I've met a lot of celebrities. I've been in. I've done a lot of music videos and just had like great experiences. As far as that's concerned, but y'all, I had 3 therapists while I was at QC.
Okay.
This is my first time in music, so I'm new. Like I'm learning, and
how old were you at this point?
2021. That was what, 4 years ago?
4 years ago. So let's say like
I was 24.
24. Okay.
Am I lying?
No.
I'll be 29 this year.
We don't fact check.
24, 25.
Yeah. So basically, like it's still like, I mean, come on, let's be honest. Around 21 to maybe it's just our generation, but I don't think we're really adults now. I think being adult is much later on.
Yes.
I know some 65-year-old people that are not adults.
Yeah. So, but at the same time, it's just like, so that's your lived experience.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. It's everything that glitters is not gold. I will say that.
That's so important to learn.
Yeah, it really is. But overall, it was a great. Well, let me backtrack. So I was in music as the artist relations coordinator for about 2 years and some change. And then they moved me over to QC Sports. Finally, that's where I wanted to go from the beginning as a general manager. And I was like, oh, I'm finally in sports. It's going to be great.
Yeah, but now you're finally in sports.
And now, I mean, I got the experience.
Yeah.
I got the experience, met a lot of great people. But I think that was such a transitional time for me where I was trying to figure out who I was. And so when you're in this kind of gray area, it's important to really tap in with yourself, because when there's a lot of things going on around you or people are saying a lot of things about you, you will start to internalize it and actually start to believe it. Yeah, so came out on the other side.
I don't want to hit on too many parts of that. But it's just, the biggest thing is that at least you learned who you are.
Yes.
Because you're right. At that age, when you're growing, when you don't know what you're doing, what you're not going to do, like, if you don't know what you're going to do next, and then you start hearing people who are older than you or who you perceive to have authority.
You perceive. Yes.
And I mean, come on, let's be honest. Like, if someone's like, oh, you're not good at this, you're not good at that, it's like, maybe they're right.
Yeah, no, that's literally.
You have no experience in it. So
literally.
So I'm very happy that you didn't listen.
Thank you. Yeah, well, I did for a little bit. But it's crazy because at the end, like, it got to a point where it's like, okay, This shit's getting out of hand. Like,
Well, it messes with your sanity when you have a lot of people that tell you that you're the one that's doing this or you didn't do this correct. And then you know deep down that that's not true, but you keep hearing it and hearing it. It's almost like they're like, where will the next attack be? And you're being tortured.
Literally. And when you speak out, and especially as a woman, as a black woman too, especially in a space that's male dominated, when you speak out, it's, oh, you're aggressive, you're hard to work with. That's the real life experience. That's what it is. So it definitely weighed down on me, but it got to the end where it's like, I know on my part, my attitude could have been better. I know it could have been. But I got to a point where I was like, fuck this shit. I don't care. Like,
You got both of them.
Yeah, I'm like, fuck it. Like, and then literally, you guys, it's crazy because I think 2 weeks before I got fired, I prayed. I was like, God, if it's meant for me to be here, make it to where I can hold on. If it's not, make it abundantly clear that it's time for me to pivot.
Yeah.
I got fired. And I mean, you can't get more clear than that. So, yeah.
Do you think that it helped you at all having an HR background through all of this? Because like a lot of times in sports or music, like sometimes you don't have conflicts about the music or you don't have conflicts about sports. You have conflicts that are kind of like HR issues. I don't like the other person.
Yeah.
This person smells.
It didn't really help, I guess. My professionalism, it did help with that.
Yeah.
But other than that, it really...
So it forced you to become an adult, basically. That was your gear shift into becoming who you are today.
Yes, and I knew at that point how to conduct business and how not to conduct business. So I learned a lot of do's and don'ts, which got me to where I am now.
Yes.
And I know how to carry myself in the space. So.
Well, we talked a lot about the past. What's in the future for Mya Mack?
Yes.
Present?
So yeah, like I said, I have my own sports and entertainment business management companies, M3 Management. But you know what I did when I first launched it? I was like, yeah, I'm doing sports and entertainment, but I think I bit off more than I can chew. So until I can get some more personnel, I'm really more focused on the sports sector. Because entertainment is a whole nother beast.
Well, okay, this is a side note, but it's... I don't think you're living a full life if you're not biting off more than you chew. If you're not biting off to like... If it's not a dream that scares you, are you really alive to...
You just said something, Brijesh.
There we go. This is what we're talking about.
Yeah, this is what you're going for.
But it's like, let's be honest, knock on wood, we have good health, but how long do we really have? 30 years?
Yeah.
40 years?
You don't know.
You don't know. And it's very important to, if you have an audacious dream, go pursue it. Like, who's stopping? Like, again, like when you were younger, you talked about like being on YouTube, being on a Ustream. No one told you to do that.
Yeah.
You took the initiative to do that. And it's just, I think all the bad experiences kind of just force you.
Yes,
Like
exactly.
how you talk about God just kind of like enlightened your path of where to go.
Yes.
You know?
Do you feel like you started this at probably a really good time since there's a lot of people who need sports marketing now for NIL deals and like media relations?
So. Yeah, and because I was very hesitant on starting it because I'm like, oh, do I have the experience to do it? Like, are people actually gonna want to, sign with me? Like, there's a lot of self-doubt that went into it, and really, someone that I met, her name is Afia. I met her from a virtual event that one of my friends was having. I just talked to her, and she was like, no, you should just do it. And she was like, actually, my husband is a retired NFL player, and he needs somebody doing exactly what you're doing, so you should do it. And I'm like, okay. So literally, somebody I just met, she put me on. That was my first client. Shout out to Tori and
that's
Afia.
what I was going to ask. Is that your first client?
That was my first client, yes.
So for your current firm that you're running, where can they find that firm on social media?
Yeah, so M3 Management.
It'll be right
It's
here.
my Instagram. Yes, M3 Management.
What does M3 stand for? Are those your initials?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh. There we go. There we go.
It's my initials. So I think my Instagram, I'll have to check. I'll send y'all the actual handle. But I think it's M3 Management.
Her people will send us the.
Yeah. And my website is m3mllc.com.
There we go.
Okay.
Yep.
So I noticed you were doing some work with Anthony Miller.
Yes.
Did you know Anthony Miller before you started doing
From
it?
University of Memphis, yeah.
Okay,
When he was
nice.
playing football, so I was working there. That's how we became friends. So yeah, kind of full circle moment actually.
Yeah.
And just a plug, we are currently planning a youth football camp here in Memphis at the University of Memphis on July 12th for Anthony. So
Okay.
So how do we find out more about that? Go to
we're
your
going to
website?
start promoting on Monday. So it will be on m3mllc.com where you can register. If you want to sponsor or donate, you can also do that. But yeah, just a little
There we go.
Plug.
Okay, we got you. Don't worry.
Well,
We got you,
send
Maya.
us the info. We'll post it on our story. We'll cross post it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Post for
Yes.
post.
Post for
Yes, of course. No, seriously, yes.
post for post.
Yes.
So what do you credit your success to as far as like growing your brand and stuff? Is it just your personal connections, or it seems like you got a lot of word of mouth business? Or
Yeah,
you
no,
know,
literally it's that. It's literally that. And like I said, when I was at QC, even though, that was kind of a stepping stone for me, the connections I got there, and then the past connections before I even got to QC, I think my rapport with people, the relationships that I create with people is easy for when I'm starting something, people to support me.
Yeah.
So I think I can credit that. Just I do good business. I'm a great person. I make great relationships. So
There we go. That right there is an unsung. Like anyone who is pursuing this business, you need some sort of like actual like affability. You need to be able. Yeah, you need to be able to connect to people.
Relationships is literally
Yeah.
the key to being successful in, especially this industry.
Yeah.
Whether it's sports and entertainment, whether it's podcasting, whatever, relationships is the most important thing.
And to be like actually have a good rapport, actually have a good relationship, you have to be truthful. You have to like actually put yourself out there.
Yep.
And she just got it. I need it since middle school, but
Yeah.
how for like management and stuff, it usually is. It's got to be a fit both ways. They can say, "Hey, I need management and I need this." Do you have a way that you delineate if you're going to pick up a client or you're not going to pick up a client?
Kinda. It just like it has to make sense. Like, because at the end of the day, I would love to help everybody, but if I'm not making money, it's still a business at the end of the day. I love what I do, but it has to make sense. Like, and just because I will say this, just because somebody's like a bigger athlete doesn't mean that it's going to translate over into like branding and marketing, because it helps when a lot of people know you. But if you're not active on social media, things like that, brands are looking for people that actually have authentic engagement.
so without naming names, what's the hardest no you have to like that you remember?
Is it that you get lowballed, probably?
I haven't really had any like situations yet that I've been like, hell no.
Call us when you do.
But no, actually, no, I don't want to mention that. But there was one I was like, you want me to do what? Like,
Yeah.
no. And it wasn't an athlete, but I'm not gonna say what it was.
Is it like personal marketing for their LinkedIn account or something?
No, it was marketing, but I'm not gonna say for what. But it was like,
Okay, well, we'll just let the audience, we'll let the chat's imagination wander.
I'm like, this don't make
Okay,
no
chat,
damn
let us know what she was talking about.
What do y'all think? But yeah, so we haven't had any really hard no's. So really, Tori Wilson was my first client, Anthony Miller, and then Braden Williams is one of my newer clients. He is now going to Georgia. He just graduated high school.
There we go.
He was a world record holder for fastest 100 meters for high school.
Yeah.
But
Oh, really?
yeah. Yeah. And so he's training, I forgot what's the name of the meet that he's training for this weekend, but he's going to be training for the Nike Outdoor Nationals in Oregon in June. I think it's like June 19th, maybe.
So how do you even? Okay, that's very impressive. How do you even go about getting somebody like that?
Relationships. Literally, when I launched my business, one of my old friends that used to work, well, my friend, my partner now, but we worked at QC for a little bit together. And he came to me, he's like, I got these kids, like, do you want to help me with them? I was like, sure. And then I looked, I'm like, he's kind of good. Like, he's fast as hell. Like, yeah. And I think I was so excited because track is not really something, an athlete that people work with because they're not marketable. Like, you only really see like the Noah Lyles or Sha'Carri Richardsons. Like, but I'm enjoying like looking into it so we can kind of change that narrative.
Yeah.
You know, he's a really good athlete. So I'm excited to see like what brands we can get with him, like how we can kind of twist it and turn it. But
So when it comes to track, I know football, or when it comes to football or basketball, it's very like there's a set track that you got to follow. But when it comes to track or other sports, it's outside of the Olympics.
Yeah.
There's not really anything else that goes for them, right?
yeah, I mean, they have different meets, and I'm learning that my own.
Yeah.
Like I've
So I'm
never
learning
ran
all
track.
this right now too.
Right. So I'm still like, which again, that was why I was so excited to take him on, because I know nothing about track.
Yeah.
So it's a learning experience for me, and it's a challenge for me, and I'm excited. He's a great kid. Actually going to Dallas this upcoming weekend to get some footage of him while he's training for the Nike Outdoor Nationals. But
Good luck.
So,
Yeah.
what is your target audience right now, would you say? Are you looking for people that have NIL deals? Are you looking for pros? Are you looking for ex-pros and NIL?
I think pros and NIL. Yeah, those are my target audiences. But
So what does NIL mean?
so college athletes.
Okay,
College
gotcha.
athletes.
It's how college athletes get paid. There was a huge 20-year lawsuit about it. I don't know where you've been, Brijesh.
Okay, so what I
Asking what NIL is to someone that does sports marketing.
so okay, come on. This is what makes this podcast great because I know nothing.
Well, that's true. There could be people that don't know what it is that
Yeah.
are listening. So it's the Name, Image, Likeness Act. It's somebody sued the NCAA. That's how you get money. It used to be I couldn't sell Brijesh jerseys or action figures
Yeah.
or video games with your face on it and make tons of money because it's really messed up. They're profiting off the backs of people that are putting their body on the line every day.
Okay, maybe I do remember a little bit of it. It was when it comes to football specifically when they would sell jerseys or you're not gonna be compensated for the amount of money.
Yeah, they're not
Correct.
getting compensated at all.
So that in itself made no sense. They made a lot of money.
Which
they made a lot of
Yeah.
money.
The
Oh,
thing that
hell
happened
yeah.
was there was a kicker that had a YouTube channel and he was making a ton of money from his YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And once he started to monetize it, they said, "That's it. You can't do this anymore." And he said, "F that." So they kicked him out of the NCAA. He couldn't be
Yeah.
on the team and he sued them. But he didn't get any money out of it. He just opened the door for everyone before that. So think about everyone in the 70s, 80s, 90s never
Yeah.
got paid in college, allegedly.
I wish I
Yeah,
was a part of the
allegedly.
NCAA.
I'm about to say they were. Y'all know, allegedly.
Have you had any people say off the record that have been like, "I can't pay you that way, but I have a bunch of cash"?
No,
Okay.
no.
See,
Off the
that's
record.
why the
Off the
NIL is
record.
good.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
those bigger schools, SEC schools, Alabama, a lot of those schools,
Ooh.
they were getting paid. Like,
Yeah. Oh yeah, Nick
They were getting
Saban. Nick Saban is like a god in
They-
Alabama.
he
Now it's
was a great coach.
Level the playing field. Everyone's getting paid now. You can see
Yes.
what teams are actually good or what teams pay.
Yeah, I think, but even though I think it's kind of bittersweet though. Like now, I'm glad that they're finally getting paid, but also it kind of has shifted the hunger I think in college athletes because it's like I'm getting paid millions of dollars right now. Like what do I need to put in this extra effort for? And I'm getting paid right now because at first it's like I'm trying to get to the next level. Like I have this is what I have to do to get there, and now it's like. A lot of them are concerned with social media more so social media than they
Well,
are.
specifically when it comes to football, you already have a high risk of getting CTE.
Yes.
A high risk of already damaging your body at such a young age. Why not get paid for what you're doing?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Why not actually get compensated? Because you're gonna, at the end of the day, I mean, come on, your body, your health is in jeopardy, and health is everything.
Yep.
So if you're already risking it, why not get the money or get a cut of what you're supposed to get anyways in the NFL or whatever industry end up going into.
Yeah, I'm all for them getting paid for it.
Obviously, you weren't here last episode, but Brajesh asked an MMA fighter if he has CTE in the middle of the podcast.
Yes. Well, here's the thing. No.
What did he say?
What I asked was,
Are you worried about your CTE?
or how do you defend against it? Because it's okay. Kevin's such a nice person, dude.
Yeah,
He's
he really let that one slide.
yeah. He manifested 2 sons too.
And he manifested out of that question that you asked. So I've got a social media question that is buzzing social media. What do you think about the whole Bill Belichick situation
With his young ass girlfriend.
Well, no. She's the sports and entertainment person for North Carolina, and everything goes through her for all the questions and the media and stuff.
I think it's crazy. I
Kinda
think there's a
nasty.
fine line between mixing business and pleasure, but I don't know. That's just nasty. That's just freaky. Bill Belichick really.
They got a 40-year age gap, 50-year age gap.
No, literally, I'm like, that's disgusting.
That's your granddaughter. And that's
Literally, probably great granddaughter.
yeah.
Disgusting.
But it's just I'm not defending Bill Belichick at all. I'm not. I swear to
You
I
know
swear.
that's how they always
This
open
is-
up. However, comma.
But no. There's no but involved in this. Who's the famous actor? Oh my god, I'm blanking.
That's a great description.
no,
So let me.
no,
think.
Who's a famous actor who only dates 20-year-olds?
Oh, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah,
Allegedly.
There's something mentally ill, in my opinion, mentally ill with going after somebody that young. Maybe
I think it's a control thing.
it is a control thing. You have the money. It's all you're reading is the great kings, this and that. They had everything they wanted. But at the same time, it's what are your morals, what are your standards,
Where are
what are
your-
your it's just
We just you just burn it into the ground and then start another one, and then burn it into the ground and start another one.
Literally, and it's you're these people that are in the eye of America in the world. You're never gonna run out of people that want to date you.
yeah.
So it's
especially now with social media being so prominent, it's It's Bill Belichick. It's Leonardo DiCaprio or whoever. Harvey Weinstein. Should we cut this out?
No, I don't. You're the one that said it.
It's like
he's doing post production. That's on you.
But it's like okay, you have the power. You can control. Like it's there's a lot of different elements of no, I don't love you. Like, there's not everyone can kind of see it's like it's a true love.
But I guess at what point it's like, do you really care about true love? At that point with them, it's like, okay, I just want somebody here that I can have a conversation with, whatever she looks.
What kind
good.
of conversation are you having? Somebody with
That's
40 years younger than
Oh
you?
my gosh. That's why I'm like, this is just nasty. Y'all some freaky frogs for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hopefully, he didn't sign a new will.
Now
He
that's
probably did.
Speaking of, Brijesh has an ad read.
Here we go. So, and also I met him this Sunday.
Well, I'm glad that you got the sponsor.
he was
Please
so cool.
read his ad.
Yeah, here we go. So call WCWS Law Firm today. Our expert attorneys are here to make the process smooth and stress-free with services like selling estates, managing wills, resolving disputes, handling trusts, and guiding you through every legal detail. Based right here in the heart of Memphis, we're your local probate pros. Reach us at 901-523-1844 or visit WCWSlaw.com now. And I can't wait till you're on the podcast too.
All right. So we'll get back into it. As far as a marketing technique, the whole point of Bill Belichick going to North Carolina was he's not going to get you a championship, but he'll get you to the league.
Oh, yeah. It's Bill Belichick.
Do you think that's good?
I mean, I guess it really is like, what's your goal? Like, if you just want to get to the league, then okay, cool. But, I mean, do you want to have does our championship something that you really, admire? Like, do you want to have a championship? If not, then maybe that's not the place to go.
Everyone you've interacted with so far, what are their goals? Is it to get a championship or is it the end goal to actually get in the league?
I think it's more so just getting to the next level. But it's cool to have the championship, but I don't think there's anyone that's like, oh, I need to have a championship.
Yeah.
It's more so just getting to the next level.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, and this is kind of a deep question. Brijesh and I are athletes. We've signed NIL deals. We need marketing. We need public relations. What is your pitch? We're in between another company that's just like yours. What is your unique value proposition for us to go with you?
It's crazy. I think I think my biggest thing is I tell them, go where you're comfortable, go where it feels like family, because a lot of these big agencies, they'll pitch you, they'll sit all the money. I don't have any money. So I can't pitch you on that, but I can pitch you on the experience that you're going to have while working with me. A lot of these agencies, they'll say, oh yeah, we'll give you this amount of money. And a lot of athletes, they see the money sign, they're like, okay, cool. But literally once they sign, that's when all the problems come. It's like, oh, I haven't heard from my agent in I don't know how long. Oh, I haven't heard from my branding and marketing person for how long. So I think I like the fact that I'm more so like a boutique management company. So I like to have one-on-one relationships with each and every one of my clients. So I think that's kind of my edge as far as like working with people. So
you answer the phone and give competent answers and don't just be like, all right,
I'm not feeding you bullshit. I do have a request though.
Yeah.
If there's a cuss word that you have to like blank out, can y'all use the dolphin sound from
that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's on Brijesh.
I'll be on YouTube.
Yeah, no.
I love SpongeBob.
We'll find it. We'll figure it out.
My sentence enhancers. But yeah, I don't feed anybody bullshit.
So you know what? Here we go. So I'm gonna learn how to do a dolphin sound to cuss away.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the whole episode. You motherfucker.
It's gonna be Brijesh just reading insert dolphin sound.
Yeah. It'll be 10 minutes.
Dolphinsound.mov.
Thank you, Maya. You're helping me learn.
Yes,
how
but
to be a better.
so I don't feed anybody bullshit. I'm open book. I'm transparent, and like I said, I've learned how to do business and how not to do business, and that's just kind of where I am with it. And the sports and entertainment industry is very snaky, very shy.
So, what are your do's and don'ts to this business when it comes to this is a good athlete, but like it's just like it's not worth the time or not worth the effort because Actually, you're gonna explain what the do's and don'ts are.
We have a segment that we do called 6 Big Beers. Someone that's having a rough week in the news, and we say like Nancy Pelosi needs 6 beers, Elon Musk needs 6 beers for this. So, what are your 3 big do's and your 3 big don'ts, or just one? It doesn't matter. What should people start doing maybe that they don't do?
Yeah.
That's like a simple thing.
Like people that come and say, "Oh, I just want branding and marketing. I want branding and marketing." I'm like, okay, you don't have anything to market. Like you have to be active on social media. Like I said, a lot of these companies are looking. You can have 1 million followers, but your engagement can be super low. They're looking for people that have actual influence. So my thing is always like build a actual like a community.
Yeah.
That is what brands are looking for. Like, especially if you're not a Lamar Jackson or you're not a whoever else. Like, for brands to want to work with you, it has to be a two-way street. Like, it has to be beneficial for them as well. So they're looking for people that are active online and have an actual community. So I say if you want real branding and marketing deals, sponsorships, you need to be active on social media.
What would you not do? What would you want your clients not to do that you see and you're like, hey, I'll do this, but you have to stop doing this?
Yeah. Posting everything on social media. So it's like a fine line. Like you have to be active on social media, but you need to be
Ja Morant.
Like a 24-hour stream.
like no 24-hour streams, no guns.
Sports.
Shout out to Ja. Shout out to Ja.
It wasn't a gun. It wasn't a gun. It wasn't a gun.
A grenade.
He didn't break a single law.
Whatever artillery weapon he decides to use. But yeah, I think being intentional about what you post on social media, because obviously we know the footprint is.
So I guess like the younger generation coming up now, they have a much better understanding of what social media is. But it's like also
They do, but I think like we're in the age of streaming and stuff, so it's like they don't filter the things that they post anymore. It's like they just do stuff for views.
But it's like, okay, this is kind of twisted, but society or like social media, the meta right now is be controversial.
Yeah.
Do things that like get attention, get views, get clicks. So somebody watching this right now, what kind of advice would you give them? Like when it comes to gaining a like actual social media presence, what should they do?
Be yourself. I say be very authentic with who you are. The controversial shit, don't do that.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I mean, if you don't care about who you are, your morals, values, whatever, then okay, yeah, be controversial, be in, going viral for stupid shit all the time. But if you want a real community, and to have like a genuine following on social media, be yourself. That's what, like, when people start getting into real like stage stuff, that's when people start to not really pay attention to you or really want to be a part of anything that you have, because it's not authentic.
Because by that point, the people that you've attracted are not, they don't care about your well-being.
They don't care.
Yeah.
They don't care.
So, but it's like, how you said that when you were 24, 25, you listen to authority. Mm-hmm. The authority right now is going to be the general mass. Yeah. Telling you like, hey, oh, that was hilarious. That was funny. Keep doing that. Keep doing this and that. So finding yourself right now, I think it's much harder now than ever. You at least had a strong basis. Like, I believe in God. I know what my morals are. Mm-hmm. So I guess when it comes to values, you're saying you should be like fixate or not fixate. You should spend more time in figuring out what your morals and values and your compass is.
Yes, pretty much. Like, because if you spend all this time being somebody that you're not or trying to feed into, I guess you're just ever changing. You just go with the flow, go with the wind, go with what everybody's what's trending. You're never going to get your a real foot in the ground, because external is always changing. So you're going to always change. But if you are leading with who you are, you're going to be good. You know what I'm saying? So
it's hard to market other people's products too if you don't know who you are.
Yeah, because if I'm a vegetarian, I'm not gonna pitch you to Kane's Chicken, like
Nathan's
like
hot dogs.
That's like it's stupid. Like, so yeah, it definitely. I think that's the biggest thing I can say is be yourself.
So that's one of your don'ts, right? Don't be inauthentic.
Yeah, don't be inauthentic, and don't pay too much. Even though obviously you have to pay attention to the outside world, how people are responding, because that's how you can make your content better. But you shouldn't put too much stress on that, because I don't think you're ever going to be great if you're constantly fixated on what other people are saying about you. And it ties into being authentic. When you know who you are and what your purpose is and why you're doing what you're doing, it's easy to say, okay, yeah, they didn't like this. Let me change this. Let me switch this up. But I'm still going to do what I want to do.
So we're gonna probably bleep this out, but that's one hell of a pitch for your company, because you're actually putting them first. You're like your well-being.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because at the end of the day, your mentality is everything else stems from your mentality. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. I wish I was an athlete.
That gets you fired up.
You know,
You seem very giddy, ready to run through a wall.
oh my God. Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, who are your favorite sports teams? You have an NFL team?
So I recently divorced the Dallas Cowboys.
So not the Cowboys.
So not the Cowboys, but they did just
It's
make
a cult. It is a cult.
Cinderella football. It's our year.
Yeah, like I got tired, but they did make a good move with George Pickens, I believe. I think him and CeeDee Lamb are going to be pretty good together. I can't wait to see that. But I am with the Ravens now. That is my current team.
Okay,
Baltimore
the Ravens. What about basketball? You a homer?
I mean, just Grizzlies. I'm not
Grizzlies.
really. Football is like my main sport.
Yeah.
I just started
Okay.
learning about baseball,
Yeah.
which I love to go in person. I cannot watch it on TV.
Yeah, it is the most boring game to watch on TV. It's really fun at the park. It's
Yes.
even more fun to play. But then, like, if you're getting the national broadcast,
Yeah, no.
like it's like something I'd fall asleep to. But
Literally.
there's a lot of people who follow it that are like 65, and they all make way more money than all the other players do. All their contracts are guaranteed. Collective
Yeah.
bargaining. I know you know about that.
So no. How is it? What I know about baseball? How is it that they make? Isn't baseball like the biggest money? Like
They make the
biggest-
most money.
Yeah,
Them
like,
in soccer.
How is that? Like I know soccer is ridiculous right now, especially with Saudi money and with everything else going on too.
yeah.
But with baseball, especially in the United States, how are they making so much money? If not
Maybe you
sure-
can speak to it. I don't know.
I'm sure you know this though.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they make the most money, they have the shittiest marketing of any professional
that's-
sports
I think
in
that's
the
true.
world.
That yes,
So
I can agree
they
with
make
that.
the most money because they have sponsorship deals. They have more games than anyone has in a season. I think they have over 100 games.
Yeah.
They fill out the ballpark. You got to think about the TV deals. They've been doing TV the longest. They've been collective bargaining the longest. It's not cheap to go to a baseball game either.
No, and I went to the World Series thanks to QC Sports. I did get to experience going to the World Series.
Thank you, QC.
Shout out QC Sports. Did something good.
Yeah, yeah. So that was a
Chris
great
Stephanie
experience.
stuff. There we go.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, World Series got to be awesome. Anything in person has got to be awesome.
Yes, it was great. I had a great time.
Did you go just for one game? All games?
No, so one of our clients was Cattell Marte. He played for the Diamondbacks, and so we set up. We was there for the whole thing. It was pretty cool in Arizona.
Let me ask you, if you could take over one sports team's marketing, who would it be? You get to take over any team in the world.
Wait, before you answer that, let me just make sure the camera's on.
All right.
You can actually turn mine off.
Why are you worried about it? Was this like pressing you for like minutes?
No, because it's like I don't know why I freaked out about it. Maybe it's not twerking, maybe it's not this. But this conversation's too good. Make sure it's not recording. This is a really good conversation.
Thanks.
3, 2, 1. What was your question? Just repeat.
Well, we were talking about baseball.
No. But
Oh,
if
okay,
you could
all
take
right,
over.
I got it.
Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1.
So, what was if you could take over one team in professional sports in North America? What would it be and why for marketing?
I don't know. That's a good question.
You could take over any NFL team, any MLB team.
I know. I'm thinking
Dallas
like
Cowboys.
I was thinking that, but it's like they already have their own bandwagon.
or you just
so
choose
it's
like
kinda,
the Hawaii like universities. So you go to Hawaii.
like something that doesn't really get too many eyes on them. But oh my god, I don't know. That's a good question.
What do you think? What do you think football could do better with their marketing?
Well, I know one thing. The NFL, this whole Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and Taylor Swift shit. Let's cut that shit out. I'm tired of that. That's one thing I will say. Let's do better and stop posting her on social
I
media.
think most
and
of
on the
America,
games.
most of America is tired.
Well, we all know how Patrick Mahomes spent his money this year.
Oh my god!
You won't get that.
And here's the thing: what I do understand is
Yeah,
like all the controversy around Taylor Swift now. She's not that good of a person.
She got her masters back. Dude, do not start talking about Taylor Swift on here, and they'll be in the comments.
Oh
in 2
yeah,
minutes.
You're right.
I
you're
think
right.
Taylor's.
An amazing person.
She seems like a great person.
I love
Obviously, I've
Taylor
never
Swift
met
and her mom. They're both great people.
You know, that'd be a good thing to talk about. Is like we were talking about rating. We got some nasty comments. Do you tell your clients to engage in comments
No.
even if they're nasty? Okay.
No.
So, like as an example, Brijesh, I know you probably would not remember this, but from the Super Bowl, one of the Eagles players went after Taylor Swift on social media.
Yeah.
And then immediately they raided his mom's Google reviews and started leaving nasty reviews for his mom's personal restaurant
Social
business.
media's a ruthless place.
And then they had to turn off the reviews because people were saying chicken was raw, almost died, like stuff like that in the comments.
I'm sorry, it's funny, but that's actually fucked up. Like,
Yeah.
don't.
But here's the great thing about Google. So we're really big on reviews at India Palace now too, because that's your bread and butter. If anyone Googles your name, you want to be the first one to show up. But Google, what it actually does now is that if you get too many spam messages at one time, it kind of blocks it out.
Oh, okay, cool.
And it kind of, but still at the same time, I don't want India Palace getting 30,000 negative reviews. Because who knows when you block them out? Who knows when? Because
It's actually
the damage is done. The
Yeah.
damage is done at that point.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Social media is a ruthless place.
Do you, what would you recommend if people like, so we get a bunch of really weird spam comments right now. That's a big problem with social media. We'll get someone that's like, oh, I'm trying to unlock this seed token phrase for this cryptocurrency. Or we'll get crazy conspiracists that don't want to talk about just random stuff. Be like, yeah, you should check into Hillary Clinton too. Like stuff, just wild stuff. But like the video has nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
So like there's a big theory right now that the majority of the internet is actually just bots. Nobody knows how many people are really on
I
there.
believe that.
Yeah, even Elon Musk, he was talking about when he took over Twitter and made it into X, but it was like 80, maybe not 80%, maybe I'm misremembering the facts, but a large majority of their the bot or the accounts that were on social media
believe it.
were bots.
I can believe
and
it.
now, oh my God,
Well,
Facebook. I'm sorry, I don't want to go on too much of a tangent. But now Facebook is allowing, like, okay, so they're coming out with their own AI, or not coming out, they have their own AI, but they have AI accounts now. So you can pay to like have your was a post boosted, but who's actually boosting them, real people or the bots?
Agents.
So, or agents. So it's like now, not only do you have to be authentic, but you also like, who are you interacting with?
It's crazy. This AI shit is crazy. It's helpful in a way, but it is crazy. But I do think there's a lot of bots online, so I don't even know how to combat that. Like,
why don't you know?
I don't know. That's not.
I don't know. No one knows.
So, Maya, I think we'll probably do 2 more questions and then wrap it up. Do you have any plugs? You want to plug anybody?
No. You guys can go follow Tori Wilson, one of my clients at Crafting Lineman. He specializes in offensive and defensive lineman coaching. Anthony Miller, be looking out for him this season. Baltimore Ravens, number 6 wide receiver. And Braden Williams, University of Georgia, track runner. He's a really fast kid. And Anthony Miller's youth football camp, July 12th. At University of Memphis. We'll be posting about it soon. So.
Go ahead and ask your question because I got a good question.
I always have the same final question. What would you tell your younger self restarting your career? You could talk to yourself right as you were about to get into sports entertainment, right before you're going to go to the U of M. Where would you interject into your life, and what would you tell yourself?
And be 100% honest. And
please don't lie to us. Thank you, Brijesh, for making
look at your social media.
Yeah.
I can't wait to bomb your question right after you ask it. This guy.
I think what I would tell my younger self is, I guess, don't pay attention to other people. Be authentic. Again, be authentic to yourself. I think I preach that now because that's a big lesson that I've learned is to kind of block the outside noise and think for myself and not look for outside validation. Like, say the course, do what you want to do.
Authenticity trumps everything.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So my question, if
He's waiting.
Okay. So my question: would there be any other career choice that you think you would have gone into besides?
No.
There we go. That answers my question.
No.
But if sports shut down, if there was another COVID and you can do it, what would you do during that time?
Because
let's say that.
Because what a skill to have, not to listen to other people. That in itself can take you so many places. Yeah. You are very sociable. You know what you're doing. You're smart.
Thank you,
and
it's just
my
gosh.
Oh, wait till the edit. No, but it's
don't
like
do that.
I would never. But it's just like what you have. These skills are invaluable. You can take them just about anywhere. So outside of sports media, like it's just how else would you help people? Because you are an influencer, but
I guess
it's like you can help. Okay, never mind. I'll let you answer the question.
I think that's why I chose to have my degree in human resources, because I do legitimately love to have relationships with people, help people, talk to people from different walks of life. and just kind of figuring out a way to help them. And so that's why I got my degree in what I got my degree in.
Yeah.
So if I had to do anything, human resources would be it. I think that's the closest thing to something, or like project management for any company. I think those are the things that I would enjoy doing. Other than that, nothing else is for me.
There we go.
Well, we really appreciate you coming out.
Of course, thank you for inviting me.
You live in Atlanta.
Yes.
You're in Memphis now.
Yes.
You got any trips coming up? You got to go fly out, meet some people?
Dallas to go see Braden. Maybe going to Vegas for the SAC Summit. That's with Von Miller, Max Crosby, and Cam Jordan. Maybe doing that. And then after that, nothing. No.
I'm going to shout out. You should go to Tight End University. That's a big one that's right now.
Yeah,
Tight
that's
End.
Travis Kelce's, right?
Mm-hmm. It's him, George Kittle, and a bunch of people.
When is it?
It's like the same thing as the SAC thing.
Yeah, when is it?
I think coming up. It's sometime in August. It's right before OTAs or right after OTAs, in between there and like mandatory minicamp.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm looking.
But check it out. Tight End University. Shout out.
Yeah.
Shout out the tight ends. All right. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. This has been the Lucky Lotus Podcast. Find us on X, Spotify, Patreon, YouTube.
You said it all. I think TikTok, not OnlyFans, not Blue Sky, not Through Social. What else?
You can find us on OnlyFans at Brejesh's Feet Pics.
Only Toes.
Only Toes. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Have a great night. Bye.